Okay guys, I'm here today with Henry Akins, huge honor for me. Guys, Henry is the third American black belt from Rickson Gracie and probably the one who spent the most time with Rickson, and he used to teach at his gym in California. And today he's gonna show us here what's the first thing you should do when someone takes your back. So he already showed me, and I was fascinated by it, and can't wait for you guys to learn that as well. Let's do it, Henry.
Awesome. Yeah, really simple. So this is primarily when you're dealing with the seatbelt grip, right? Now, ideally, when someone sits on your back with a seatbelt grip, usually what people refer to is this is the strong side and this is the weak side for the guy on the back, because basically this is the choking arm. So we all know this is when someone takes my back, the arm that's over my shoulder is the arm that's going to go around my neck, right? That's the choking arm. And if I fall, if he starts to grab either a bow and arrow or rear naked choke, if I fall this way, it's much harder to get out, right? As opposed to falling this way.
I fully agree.
So what I call this is just a kickstand, right? So anytime someone sets up on my back and they have basically, just a seatbelt grip, right? Of course, we can always deal with the hands. We can always defend the hands. But one of the most important things is making sure that I can get my body to the right side so that I can actually start to escape. Because as long as the person stays on my back, as long as they're behind me, they still have the ability to finish. So the goal for me is always to get my back to the ground. And in order to do that, usually we either get to the side or sometimes guys will pull themselves down. So the first thing I do is I just set up what we call a kickstand. If this is the arm that's over my shoulder, this is the leg that goes up. So if you try to pull me this way,
yeah, that's amazing.
Right? So basically what I'm doing is when I put my leg up, I don't put my leg up in line with my body. I put my foot as close as I can to my butt to the side.
Yeah.
So if he tries to pull me this way.
No way.
Yeah, and so what happens too is now that do you see how the angle? It's literally like a kickstand that prevents me from falling this side. The other thing that's nice about this is now that my leg is bent, I can actually drive here, right? So it allows me to actually push and get myself to the side. So what's nice about this is even if he has like an arm around my neck now, or even if he grabs a bow and arrow, right?
There's no way.
You feel that once I kind of get to the side, it's harder for you to create the connection. The other thing that I do once I get to the side, because once I'm here, it's really important that I don't get pulled back, right? So if you pull me back, just pull me to this other side. Yeah, now I'm in trouble again, right?
Yep.
So one of the most important things that I do is I keep pressure with my leg and I drive into my head, okay? So pull me back.
There's no way.
Right.
I would probably try to use some help here, but even though I can feel how solid you are if you're
even if you use that, right? Yeah. So what happens is now you see how you're starting to make the adjustments with your legs.
Yes.
Right? So when you put your foot there, go put your foot and try to pull this way.
There's no way.
It also gives me the opportunity to escape. So as soon as you uncross your legs, right? Yeah, even from here, do you see that hole?
I agree.
So as soon as you uncross your legs, so that's the idea. Ideally, I fall away from the choking arm, right? And then my legs are kind of there to deal with your legs and deal with the position. But one of the things that's really interesting with this is that if I tuck my chin, right, which we're going to talk about in a separate video, but if I tuck my chin, look at this, because a lot of people do this and they tuck their chin. See if you can pull me back to the other side. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
So really what I need to do is I need to do this.
It's almost like you
give you my neck.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, but there's no way to get it, right? That's the problem.
And I'm not even using my hands. So you can see, even from here, right? I make the position a little bit better for you. As long as I'm driving to this side.
And Henry, if you tuck your neck as you were showing, using your hands, now you kind of like lose this base that you have.
Well, I lose the pressure, right? Yeah. So here's the thing, if I tuck my chin, right, my weight comes off the ground, and look.
And now I can't pull
you feel that?
I got it.
So look, if I do this, pull me.
Yes,
you feel how you're able to do that?
Yeah.
Pull me.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so
that's great.
So that driving, once I get to the side, I want to continue to make sure that I stay on this side. And the way that I do that is by transferring my weight and driving pressure through my legs into my head. So you can't, because there's so many times where guys start to get out, and you see this in competition all the time. Guys start to fall to this side, and then if you put this foot on the ground, move your hip, and then pull me this way. Yes. If I fall this way, doesn't that feel worse?
Yeah, no, you're kind of in trouble here.
Yeah. And then guys do what? They have to rely on this, right?
Yeah.
And now you know how to get blow past this, because if you just stretch your body away, right? Stretch away and straighten your arm. Yeah, see? Yeah. It's so much harder to defend on this side.
I agree. Oh, Harry, and for example, when you start the move, do you have any system if you get a little delayed and I grab the other lapel as well? Or it's going to be the same thing? Like,
if you grab this lapel?
Yeah.
No, so the idea is this, right? My hands are there to deal with your hands.
Okay.
Right? So for back defense, the hands are there to deal with your hands.
Okay.
And my legs are there to help me escape the position.
Okay.
Right. So do you see how much movement goes on with my legs? How
Yep.
my legs are responsible
Yeah,
for
your
driving me
legs
to the
are the
side.
driver, right?
And even when you start to make adjustments, like once I get to the side, when you start to try to adjust to recover,
I got it.
my legs are active, and like that's what helps me to get out, right?
Yep.
And so like if you start off with a seatbelt grip, obviously if I can do this, that makes things a lot more difficult for you.
I agree.
Right? So you see a lot of people do two on one, right? Yep. And most of the time when you start with a seatbelt grip, what happens is because you've already told me, you've already telegraphed to me what the choking arm is.
I agree.
This is the choking arm.
Yeah.
So I know this is what I need to defend, right?
Yep.
So mostly guys stick their two hands on one,
Yep.
and then it becomes difficult for you to even get your arm around my neck and get a grip,
Yep.
right? So if you can't get a deep grip here, this hand is not that important,
Okay.
right? But if my arms fail me, so boom, right? Yeah, so of course I'm defending this hand.
Okay.
That
So you
hand is-
never want both hands on both lapels
From the back or if I'm in front?
if I'm attacking.
If you're attacking,
You never want my both hands on your both lapels.
no, ideally this is bad, right? Because what
Okay.
this does, with the second lapel, what this grip does is it actually adds a little bit of, it increases the tension, but the most important thing this does is it prevents me from turning.
I got it.
It prevents me from turning and getting my back to the ground. So
Yeah.
what happens is, you see it happen all the time. Guys end up like this.
And I follow
Right.
you here, right?
Yeah, well, what happens is, if you think about it, Bernardo,
Yeah.
you're still behind me.
I agree.
So I've gotten to my side,
I
but you're
agree.
still behind me, right?
Yeah.
So if you start to squeeze here, go ahead and start to squeeze, right? Yeah, you see how you can choke me?
Yep.
So the goal for me is to actually get my back to the ground.
So you're gonna need to break this grip.
Yeah, and just hold on to it. I don't know. Let me see if I can do it, because sometimes I can. Okay, now can you choke me?
Yes. No,
So
no,
are you behind me anymore?
Yeah. No, I get it.
You're to the side of me, right?
I got it.
So what happens is, the escape doesn't stop once I get my shoulder to the ground,
Okay.
right? So even here, right?
Yep.
This is pretty bad. You have your head blocking my head.
Yep.
This here. Go ahead and squeeze a little bit. Yeah, go squeeze. Straight. Right?
Yep.
So you're still behind me. The goal for me is to put my back to the ground. So
Okay.
especially here, there's a little bit of head fighting. Something that not too many people talk about is positioning my head, how to get my head in front of your head. So once we end up here, like this is already a really, really bad situation for me, right?
Yep.
And so look, keep your head there, right? Now how do you feel?
Yeah, man, it's completely different.
Right? So of course you want to block my head. And if I drive into your head, or if I do this, go ahead and squeeze. Yeah, do you feel how bad that is?
Yeah.
So keep that, right?
Yeah.
Go.
It's another game.
So, and you see how I'm not using my hands?
Yep.
And the reason I'm not using my hands is because even though this can help, once you establish your grips, the hands, it's a very tough battle for my hands to break your grips from
Yeah.
here. So at this point, it's all changing my position,
Got it.
right? Like, so you can feel you have the same grips,
Yep.
but can you choke me from here?
Man, it's hard. Yeah. It's really hard. I wouldn't.
Yeah, you see? And so as soon as you make some mistakes with your legs, as soon as you start to make the adjustments with your legs, I'm out.
I got it. No, yeah, I love because you're not teaching like how to deal with the grips. You're teaching like how to position your body in order to not get choked.
Well, that's the thing that people don't understand, right? You always hear this term position before submission in jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
You need to maintain the back position in order to finish me,
I agree.
right? So my job is to change the position. If you're not on my back, you can't choke me with a rear naked, and you can't choke me with the bow and arrow,
I agree.
right? So what you notice is when I adjust, you're no longer behind me.
Yep.
Right? And a lot of these adjustments we end up making without using our arms, because here's the thing, like the defense that I usually set up when you're on my back is what we call a cross grip defense.
Yeah, you
right?
don't give me any grip.
So yeah, I don't want to let you grab my collar, and then I also don't want to let you have this.
Got it.
Right? I don't let you kind of connect your arms into a seatbelt.
Got it.
And the reason is because if you think about it, Bernardo, when I'm defending my neck, right? What happens is this hand is the main defending hand for the arm coming on this side.
Okay.
Okay. So what I mean by that is, if I'm trying to defend, if this hand's gonna come, your job is to put this arm around my neck. Okay. Let me see if I can defend it. Go. Go. Just, yep. You see how that's already done? Yep. Don't let, I'm gonna try not to let you put your, go. Just, yep, fight me a little bit. Good. Go. Keep going. Do you see?
Yep.
Do you see how, but if, put this hand around my neck.
I got it. The other hand stays there like a shield.
Do you see how this hand,
yeah.
because this hand actually has more power, and what happens is, if you think about the hand opens and closes in one direction.
Yep.
Right? If the attack is coming from here, I want this hand to be able to defend.
Okay.
Right? That's why when people start to attack, it's really common. What do they do with that hand? What do they do with this hand?
You try to come underneath.
Clear this hand. Push this hand out.
Yeah, or clear. Yeah.
So if you clear this hand, and I'm here.
And now I can get it.
Do you see how easy? So what happens is, if you can clear the defending hand, right? Now it's much easier for you to attack. So even from here, if I start to pull down, just start to walk your fingers across.
Yeah.
You feel how it's getting worse and worse and worse?
Yep.
Right? But if I do this, get your hand deeper.
Yeah, there's no way. So, Henry, so what's the exactly way you put this hand over?
So initially, if I start off, if I'm using my hands to defend, I start off with a cross grip defense.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, this is what I wanted to see. Okay.
And
so
basically, my hand is active. My hand is ready to catch because your hands are active.
And your elbow is also active.
My elbows are tight because what happens is, look, you only have two arms. You're either going to come high or you're going to come low, right? If you come high, this hand deals with it. If you come underneath my armpit, this, do you see?
Man, that's incredible.
So like
and
one
then in the meantime, you can, sorry to interrupt you, but in the meantime, you can just do
at any time I can start to get to the side, because right now, if you don't have any arm around my neck, I can go to either side to get out.
Got it.
Right? Once the hand starts to get deeper, once this starts to happen, now there's a very specific way out, right?
Yep.
This side is always going to be worse for me than this side.
Got it.
Right? And so that's why we set up this kickstand.
Got it.
Right? So my initial defense is here, right? And see how I don't even let you put your arm inside, I clear it, right? And then if you try to come, I'm always catching, right? And so from here I catch. So we used to do a drill. There was a drill that we used to do at Hickson's all the time, basically, which is basically a cross grip defense drill, where I'm not trying to escape the position.
Okay.
The goal for you on my back is to see if you can either touch my collar or get your arm around my neck, right? So if you touch my collar, you get your arm around my neck, you win.
Okay.
My job is to see here, and we would set like a time, like 1 minute. So
Man, that's amazing. That's incredible.
And you can. The cool thing is, like, you can even do this with your eyes closed, right? And the cool thing is too is like, if anytime like, oh, I injured my knee or injured my
Man, that's incredible.
I injured anything, right?
Yep.
Lower body. This is a drill that I can do that I can still develop my jiu-jitsu and help me get better anytime I'm injured. Right?
I got it.
So we have all these little drills, and just think about this, Bernardo. So if I can stay here for a minute without you being able to grab my collar, right?
Man, that's incredible.
Then that means I have a minute to start to my escape.
Yep.
Right?
And that's all you need.
Yeah, it's just basically playing with the defense. And
that's
if
incredible.
you notice how active my hands are, right? So one of the things I'm also doing in this drill with you, right, is when I grab, when you pull your hand away, I let go, right?
Okay, don't follow me.
No, because two things. If we're doing a drill and I'm just learning defense, if I just hold here, I'm not learning to play, right? I don't give you an opportunity to attack again, right?
Yep.
So it doesn't benefit me. So I want to let you attack again, so I have to see if I can defend. I want to see where your hand's going to go. I want to see. Yep.
Man, that's amazing.
Right.
That's incredible.
So my hands are always kind of active and just feeling, right? It's a
No,
sensitivity drill.
it's fun because it's fun, you know, like we can play that without going like
1 minute.
1,000,000,000%
I'm still getting better at jiu-jitsu, and it doesn't. Nobody's getting injured, right? But it's a mental training and it's a sensitivity training.
I got it.
So once we do that, and I feel safe, right? Then we start to work on, okay, how do I change this position? How do I? Because as long as I stay here, right, you can choke me.
Yep.
As long as your chest is on my back, you're behind me.
Yep.
Right? So then the goal is, and you notice right now, I'm just sitting here and I'm not using my legs.
Yep.
Right? Because again, the hands are there to protect my neck. The legs are there to help me escape.
Yep.
Right? So how I set up this drill is this. If you notice, if my shoulder line is above your shoulder line, it's hard for you to choke me.
Yep.
Right? So I intentionally put my shoulder line underneath your shoulder line so that you have easy access to my neck.
Okay.
So it's a great for you,
Yep.
right? Because now you're in the perfect position to grab my neck.
Yep.
And then I set up my defense. See how I let go? And the other thing too is when your arm moves away, the last thing I want to do is chase your arm, because what happens to my neck right now?
It's open.
Yeah. And the other thing too is, if you think about it, if your arm is going away from my neck, are you trying to choke me?
Yep. What's that?
If your arm is going away from my neck, are you trying to choke me?
When my arm is here?
Yeah, so if you're pulling your arm away from my neck, right, you're no longer trying to choke me.
I agree.
In order for you to choke me, your arm has to come to my neck.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the other reason I don't follow it.
Okay.
Right? So from here, if you pull your hand away, pull your hand away. Yeah, you're not trying to choke me anymore. Now you try.
Over
yeah,
here
see?
is the phase that I'm trying
Yes.
to choke, and that's the.
See, and then my hands are just active.
Man, that's incredible. So
Right.
it's almost like two different parts here. So one is how to deal with the grips, and the other one is how to drive and escape.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Exactly. And then, but then, you know, obviously, if once guys set up a seatbelt grip, right, now you know, like, okay, it's getting a little deeper, and then we need to start to defend, and I need to start to prepare myself to fall to the right side.
Got it.
Right?
But man, that's incredible, Henry.
And then another huge thing that most people don't understand, or they don't realize, is that this leg is actually the most important leg for escaping the position. And normally when you see people get submitted,
Yep.
okay, from this position, so even though they fall to the right side, right? So let's say you get your arm around my neck, right? And from here you feel like you can squeeze my neck and finish me, right?
Yes.
Yes. So even though I fall into this side, what happens is usually it's this leg that's not active, and that's why guys get submitted. This is the leg that's responsible for helping me get my back to the ground.
Yep.
Okay, so once I put my leg on the ground, do you see that? How my back turns?
Yeah.
So most of the time when you see people get finished from the back, it's because they're not using this leg properly.
Got it.
Right?
Got it.
So the action of the legs, this leg helps me get to the right side, and this leg
this
turns.
leg is the one that you lifted up.
This leg just drives me to the right side.
Okay.
This leg helps me to get my back to the ground.
Okay. So one more time. So the full thing here. So I'm gonna try
So
to get
if you
the
start
grip
with
down
if you start with a seatbelt grip, I'm already kickstand, right? But normally I don't allow anything. See, and I'm already here.
Man,
Do you see
that's
how I'm
incredible.
already?
It's so easy.
So yeah, like so if you start the drill like this, right? Cool, right? And then you go to grab. See?
Yeah, man, it's amazing. No, it's incredible. No, that's incredible. Oh, Henry, do you have one instruction all about back escapes as well?
I absolutely do. My whole back system. It's
Also, the back system has the attacks and the escapes.
the attacks,
Okay.
the escapes. Yeah, it has both. So
Okay.
it basically in the back system we talk about what you should be doing from the back,
Okay.
right? How to control, because that's obviously important. How to control and then how to finish.
Yeah.
And then we talk about all the details from the bow and arrow that we
Yeah.
did in the rear naked
No,
choke.
and also like probably like half of the explanation here was also like how I should be attacking, because I think like understanding how to escape is also understanding how the attacker is attacking. Right?
That's the key in jiu-jitsu that I always, you know, when I travel around the world to teach, I always explain to people, once you know what one person's doing, now you automatically know what the other person's doing, because it's the exact opposite.
1,000,000%.
right?
Like,
You want to get your arm around my neck? I don't want to let you get your arm around my neck,
Yeah.
right? You want to grab this lapel? I don't want to let you grab the
Yeah.
lapel, right? You want to pull me to this side? I want to go to that side.
no, and even like the beating bolos and etc. I'm not a beating bolo player, but it's important to know what they're doing, because if they do against you, you gotta.
Bernardo.
I'm not a beating bolo. 1,000,000% no
I
beating
heard
bolo.
you've been practicing it every night.
I'm not. No, but I agree with you. But guys, make sure to check it out. Henry has this entire instruction all about back attack, escapes and attacks at bjjfanatics.com. As you guys can see, one of the best instructors at BJJ Fanatics, for sure. Like, I love the way he articulates the moves. He's the type of instructor that he doesn't show the technique. He explains the whys behind the technique. And I think that's what most of the people...
Well, that's important, you know, for me as an instructor. Like, the goal for me as an instructor is not just to teach people a collection of moves, a bunch of techniques. Like, hey, this is a move and do this and this. My goal as a teacher is really to help people have a deep level of understanding of the art of jiu-jitsu.
And then they can create anything.
Knowing what is actually going on. What is happening in this position, right?
Oh, that's incredible. And most of the times I talk with our customers, for example, that's exactly what they want. Like, understand the move and not like just grab here and sweep.
The whys. You have to know the why. You have to understand, like, so for me, it's really important that I understand every single movement I make, every single, where I put my hands, why I do this, where I put my head. Every single movement I make serves a purpose.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, then it's a wasted movement.
That's incredible. Guys, make sure to check it out. Back Attack at BJJ Fanatics by Henry Akins. It's all about attack and escapes. So check it out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, how to escape with no hands.
There we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.